Hello, everybody, and welcome to our daily check-in. I am hanging out once again in the wife's van because although it is sunny, it is freezing outside. So, since I've been spending a lot of time this week talking about memories, I thought for this week we would kind of stay with that theme because I think it's important to try to make positive memories. So yesterday in the video, I was talking about when I was a kid, I used to make, I used to go to my uncle's and make things, because he was really good with wood. And I'd made this ship that I said that I had kept. So here, if you can see it, here's the ship that I made. I know it's not anything fancy, but considering I've had it for almost 40 years because I like it so much, it brings back fond memories. Now, another memory I have, I decided I bought a jersey this year. So I'm going to come outside, just going to see. So if you can see, this is the football jersey of Joe Montana. He is one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history. And I remember when I was younger, Joe Montana was in the Super Bowl with the San Francisco 49ers against the Cincinnati Bengals. So at that time, and I know they still do it now, but it was much bigger then, when a quarterback or whoever the MVP was, which was usually the quarterback, when they won the Super Bowl, they would say, so-and-so, you just won the Super Bowl. What are you going to do? And they'd always be like, I'm going to Disney World. Well, clearly we can't go to Disney World now, but keeping that in mind, so in this Super Bowl, this was obviously before many of you were born, especially my students before all you were born, but even some of the colleagues I work with, I'm not sure they were born. It was interesting because it was near the end of the game. The Cincinnati Bengals were winning. And Boomer Esiason, who was the quarterback of the Bengals, was on the sidelines practicing. I'm going to Disney World. I'm going to Disney World. I'm going to Disney World. This was from him, his story. He was saying, going to Disney World. As he's doing that, Joe Montana is slowly marching his team down the field. Boomer Esiason still practicing. I'm going to Disney World. Joe Montana never gave up. He just kept persevering and going and going. The closer he got to the end zone, Boomer Esiason started saying, I'm not going to Disney World. I'm not going to Disney World. And with barely any time left, Joe Montana was like, boom, throws it, whoosh, touchdown, pretty much seals the deal, game over. 49ers win the Super Bowl. And they say, Joe Montana, you just won the Super Bowl. Where are you going? He's like, I'm going to Disney World. So sometimes it might seem easy to give up, right? If you watch the Super Bowl this year, you saw the Kansas City Chiefs were not doing well, and they turned it around. So we're going to turn this around. But when I was thinking about Disney, going in the line of memories, I had mentioned earlier in some of my videos that I really like the Sorcerer's Apprentice. So this was a highlight for me. I mean, I was much older. So if you can see in the picture, there I am, hanging out with my man, Mickey Mouse, the Sorcerer's Apprentice. We went to, I guess, I don't know if it was Disney Studio. I can't even remember the name of it. It was like the movie one. And that's the one thing that I wanted from that experience was that picture because that was the memory that I knew I would keep. Funny story with that, we went to like an Indiana Jones type thing. And the people there were like, hey, do you want to participate in the activity? And my wife and I were like, sure. So they handed us these water-resistant coats. So I should have known something was up. So we get there. My wife's inside this boat, having fun. I'm on the outside. All these people are watching. And they decide, let's dump 8,000 gallons of water on this dude's head. So, of course, they do. I get saturated because I had my water-resistant coat on and not a waterproof, which drove me crazy. But luckily for me, right afterwards, we got to go out and celebrate my mother-in-law's birthday as I was soaking wet and my wife was bone dry. So, oh well, things happen, I guess. But Disney is a fun experience if you ever get a chance to go. I mean, it's shut down now, but it will reopen, and then hopefully you can go and have some really fun memories. I know some of you guys go a lot. Disney is definitely, you sweat to death, but it's worth it. It's fun. Even though my kids drove me crazy, I went around that Ferris wheel or merry-go-round probably like 40 times with my daughter. She thought it was the best thing ever. And at the time, it drove me crazy, but in hindsight, it was that memory that was really fantastic. So, keeping in line with this process of memories, as I told you earlier, my father is a musician. And my father had made a song that when I was a kid, I wouldn't go to bed until he played it. So the song is called Caribbean Coconut, and I'm going to play just a little bit for you. I mean, I still like it to this day. I have it on my phone or my iPad, my iPod. I even have the old school iPod, you know, the one that's like nothing fancy. But I like listening to it because it does remind me of my father. Now, I'm going to play a little bit of it. Makes me want to not go to an island because, like I said, I don't like the beach, but by the pool would be fun. Okay, so that's a little bit of Caribbean Coconut. So anytime I listen to my father's music, it does remind me of him. Because it's always important to have fond memories of your parents. My mother, when we were young, or even when we were older, she used to always say, I love you a bushel and a peck and a hug around the neck. And I didn't even know that was like a real saying. And she used to say it, and I'd be like, oh, I know, I know, I know. Just like when I tell my kids, I tell them I love them. And they're like, we know. And I'm like, well, how much? And then they always say tons and tons, because they knew that's the response I would want. So my sister, who's really good with vinyl and whatever those Cricut machines are called, a Cricut machine, she made me in my mother's handwriting, so something I could have on the wall, and I have it in the kitchen, so I see it every day. So that's why I'm spending so much time focusing on memories, because I want you to make some positive memories. Think about, you know, I always tell my students when we get to this time frame, which we have not, is, you know, how many generations go by before you are forgotten? And I don't want anybody forgotten. I want to make sure that we have long-lasting positive memories of people. So I'm hoping, you know, in this experience, you will write some of this stuff down, because I don't want you to forget it. I want you, you know, if somebody said a funny joke, or maybe take a cute picture, or, you know, make some arts and crafts, you should do something. When I finished my hand project that was suggested by Mrs. West, I'll definitely share that. But as you hear that, I don't know if you can hear it, but I hear weed whackers and lawn mowers. It's awesome. Even though it's 40 degrees out, spring is coming, and I don't mean like the timing of spring. I mean, I'm hoping the warm weather comes. So all I can tell you for today is think about a memory you've had, or a sporting event you've watched, something that you can talk about as a conversation starter, and think about what positive memories do you want to make from this experience, because making a positive memory is always important. And I even have to think about what can I do to remember these things in a positive way. And hanging out in pajamas all the time isn't exactly cutting it for me. I need to do something else. So that's why today I threw on my Joe Montana jersey. And who knows, maybe I'll wear a different jersey tomorrow for tomorrow's check-in. But I hope you guys have a great day and can hear me over the lawnmower. And I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out. Stay well. Stay safe. And I don't know if you can hear it now. It's getting louder. This guy is he's making my day. Guys, have a good day, everybody. Peace out.